Alright, hello everyone, I'm Yuri, and I'm back with another, I don't know, reaction, I don't know what to call it. Just talking about Darktide penances again, this time Ogryn. Yes, I did it again. I did all the penances again as Ogryn. Well, not all of them, but I'll explain. I still haven't done the 100 missions, because I don't want to wait another 5 days, a week before I complete this. I still have to do 46, and I'm not gonna wait for that. But once I get it done, I'll get the helmet. So I basically did them all. I did all the, challenges. So let's talk about them. This is gonna be a weird video because some of them I did very weird. So let's just get started with. I'll start from what I got done first. So I'm in charge. This is the one I done first. This is probably my favorite penance in the game that I've seen because it's actually useful. This penance is use a bull rush to interrupt a plague Ogryn's charge. I did not know when I started playing Ogryn that Bull Rush could interrupt charges, which includes mutants and Plague Ogryns, the two enemies that charge. I was unaware of that, so when I was like, oh, you can interrupt that, and it taught me something. So this is a great penance. This is something you can get very, very, very easily. If you get a Plague Ogryn spawn, he's ramping up his charge. You just simply ult, and it will interrupt him. And same thing with mutants, by the way. So it taught me something when I was first starting to play Ogryn. So nice. Great penance. Then I got this one. Something in your eye. Kill a corruptor by hitting it with an eye with your grenade box. Your grenade box one-shots. Corruptor is those, how do I even explain this? It's those eyes that pop up after you kill those tendrils on certain maps to cleanse the corruption of an area. And, yeah, you throw your box at it and it one-shots it. And you get the penance. I actually don't... I wish this penance was a little different. I wish it was kill, I don't know, a mutant or something else that gets one shot with a grenade box. Maybe a sniper or, not a sniper, that's, well, maybe a sniper. I don't know, something else, but a corruptor. A corruptor is kind of useless. You just hit it with your melee weapon. Why would you, it's kind of a weird way to teach you about using your grenade box or, like, getting you to use it. I would prefer something you would actually use your grenade box on. Like, I don't know, some sort of elite or something. Kill, a bulwark or something, a crusher with your grenade box would be better. But this is not hard at all. I'm not trying to say it's, you know, I'm just saying I wish it was worded differently. I wish there was a different, like, end goal. Just like I'm in charge, I wish these penances actually, you know, the easier ones taught you something about playing your class. The corruptor thing is not really teaching you anything besides your grenade box does a lot of damage, so I don't know. What I complete next? Believe it or not, the next one I got was Heavyweight Champion, which is often cited as the worst Ogryn penance I got next. This was because I was trying to cheese it. I knew it would be ridiculous. I knew that when I started this, I was like, okay, am I gonna go for the Ogryn helmet? Should I do it? Should I not? Let's see if I can get Heavyweight Champion. I've heard of people on Reddit, they said to go on Damnation, high intensity. You're not gonna find anybody because nobody queues for Damnation. So, and they were right. I rarely saw anybody in my lobbies, so I started a lobby on my own. I went into it on my own. I let all the bots die. I had a shield. And I basically charged around and hunkered down and looked for 6 Ogryns. And hoped to God a dog or a trapper didn't spawn and ruin my run. It took me several tries. I think 5, 6 tries. It was a high intensity damnation mission. I don't remember which map. I got it on the map. I had my shield out. I let my allies die, my bots. And I used, by the way, this feat. Minus 25% damage taken for each ally currently knocked down or incapacitated. Since all the bots are going to be dead, it'll be minus 75% if it works. I don't actually know if that works. Some people say it's bugged. But I used it anyway, just in case it does work. I got lucky. I got extremely lucky. I found... Oh, first of all, a mutant spawned, and the mutant actually helped me. He kept charging me and getting me further and further and further into the map. And I kept hitting corners, so he'd throw me. And eventually I got to, like, the 3rd or 4th area of the map, and I guess I got 6 Ogryns. I don't know. I can't see through my shield. I just decided to charge when I saw that there were a couple Ogryns in front of me. Turned out it wasn't a couple, it was 6. And I got the penance. If you do it that way, it's not that bad. It's pretty stress-free. I mean, you're just kind of chilling out, waiting for a good spawn. Hoping that, you know, you don't get super unlucky. And I've had trappers and I've had dogs spawn before. But yeah, this was not a bad penance. For cheesing, by the way, for cheesing. This is not, this is actually a terrible penance. This is an awful penance. This is something you cannot get. You have to get extremely lucky on a regular game, playing with regular allies and hoping that your allies don't instantly kill whatever you're trying to charge. There's no way 6 Ogryns are going to spawn on top of each other. You have to, like, purposely herd them together and then charge them with a dedicated group of allies. So no, this is not a good penance. This is a terrible penance. I'm just telling you that I got extremely lucky with it, and that's how I did mine. So heavyweight champion, garbage penance. I have no idea why they in the beta it was 4 Ogryns, and they decided that was too easy and people were cheesing it. Well, I cheesed it and it's 6, so they didn't fix their problem and they just made it worse. So they can go fuck themselves. They're idiots. This is a terrible penance. The next one I did was Don't Stop Me Now. This one I did legit. I had a psyker in the group, and basically you take the Ogryn players already know this. You take the bullfighter, minus 10% bull rush cooldown when you have an ally in coherency kills an enemy elite. So yeah, we had a group. I was playing on heresy. I think high intensity. There were a bunch of elites. I charged. We killed a bunch of elites. My cooldown refreshed really quickly. I charged again. I got the penance. It's not really hard to do if you play on higher difficulties, where there's a bunch of elites in an area, because your cooldown will go really fast. And I had a psyker, so we did even more damage to the elite, so they died really quickly. So this one's not that bad to do. It's kind of a weird penance. It's just kind of like a challenge thing. It's not really related to like making you a better player or anything. It just, I don't know. I don't mind it so much because I did it naturally. Like I didn't try for it. I just got it. So that's pretty cool. I mean, okay, I was trying for it because I charged twice in a row. You're not really supposed to do that, but unless there's a need for it, and there wasn't a need for it when I did it. I just knew I would get the penance if I did it. So yeah, Don't Stop Me Now, not bad. God Bowling. This one's kind of hard to do, honestly. 70 doesn't seem like a lot when there's a horde coming at you. Turns out it's a lot. It's actually a lot of enemies. It's more than a horde of enemies, unless you're playing on something like high intensity damnation, maybe even high intensity heresy. How I got mine was I played on high intensity heresy, and I didn't have a flamer or a psyker flamer in my group, so nobody was instantly killing hordes. And I think we ended up getting a little bit more than a horde's worth of enemies in a group, and I charged and I got it. So this one's kind of hard if you have a group that's dedicated to killing hordes, because they'll just instantly kill the horde, and you won't have 70 enemies to charge. So I've heard of people going with groups and finding maps with tunnels and leading hordes to the tunnels. But I got mine without having to do all that. Once again, if you haven't seen my veteran group, or a veteran penance video, I encourage you to check that out, because there's a lot more bitching in that one. I do all these without any friends. I do it all in pugs, because none of my friends play this game. So yeah, these are all done either solo, like the heavyweight champion one, or with pubs. This is the worst penance. Friends will be friends. You might be surprised about this. Hear me out. Stay in coherency with a living teammate at all times during a full mission or malice threat on higher. This is the last one I got, and it shocked me. Yes, it actually shocked me how horrible this penance actually is. This penance is garbage. This is a garbage penance. It's like make every shot count. It makes you play counterintuitive to the way the game is supposed to be played. You have no idea until you're trying to go for this penance how small the coherency range actually is in this game. It is fucking tiny. And allies on Malice will run around with their heads cut, like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to look for books, look for ammo. You have to stick on someone's ass unless you have a friend that you told beforehand. But I purposely don't tell my groups that I'm going for these penances when I'm making these videos, because I want to see how just a regular player, not trying to screw up their group, tries to do these penances. And let me tell you, friends, this is an awful penance, because you can't do anything on your own. You have no agency. Think about it. You can't leave and do anything on your own. You have to stick by an ally, which means you're walking around with some possible idiot who has... I followed a guy around who was lost because I couldn't leave his coherency or I'd lose the penance. Think about it. Think about these idiots that you play with, these pubs that have no idea what they're doing, and you have to stick on their ass the entire game. I just sucked it up and I was like, I'm getting this done. I don't care. This is my last penance I have to do. I'm getting it done. I'm gonna, no matter what. And let me tell you, it was not fun. It was me just... It's not so bad when you're fighting. It's when the fights are over and you guys are running away, you know, looking for ammo, looking for plasteel, looking for all this stuff. Oh my god, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. This is the worst penance. I mean, I know heavyweight champion's the worst penance, but this is a close second, guys. Like, when I read it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this done first. This is super easy. No, it's actually not. It's actually not an easy penance. It's so annoying. It is easy. It's just annoying as hell depending on what team you have. All the team, I don't know if you guys play this game. All the teams I have on Malice, the difficulty's not hard enough to stick together. So they just run around. And they separate constantly. They're never near you. And try for this penance. Watch what happens when... Well, there is one thing that does help, and I'll tell you about it. Yeah, operative feats. There's this thing, coherency radius. So this actually kind of helps. It makes the coherency radius bigger. But it's still really tiny. Like, try for this penance and see what I mean. The coherency radius is garbage. And there's a little thing right here at the bottom of your screen when you're playing that shows buffs and debuffs. It actually shows you your coherency radius. So you can see when you leave an ally's coherency, if you're with all 4 people, it'll have a number 4 next to the buff. And if there's no number, like, there's supposed to be a 2 if you're trying for the penance. So that means you have an ally near you. So you know if you failed the penance or not. And Jesus Christ, I failed it so many times just trying to stick near an asshole who was speed running or speed getting lost the entire time. So, and I'll talk about briefly this real quick. So last video I complained about them not showing you which missions you did on Heresy and which you didn't. Well, I prepared this time. I was aware that I had 0 out of 7 because I never played an Ogryn before. So I was aware that I needed to write down every single mission, and I did that. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, I wrote them all down. So it was much easier. Again, repair was the last one I needed, annoyingly. Anyway, got all the penances. I'll get the helmet later. God, I don't want to play 46 games again. Basically double the games I've already played. But this has been Ogryn. Like I said, they need to change heavyweight champion. It's just ridiculous. This is just asking to be cheesed. It's so stupid. The rest of them, Don't Stop Me Now is a little weird. I don't know if I would change that. It's possible to do, is the thing, if you take that 1 feat. Gone Bowling. I don't like Gone Bowling because you really shouldn't be charging into hordes unless there's like a downed ally in the middle of the horde. Then you should charge it. But if a horde's just coming towards your team, you really shouldn't be charging into hordes as that Ogryn. It's actually really bad because it splits the horde up and makes stragglers like hit your allies from behind and shit. And if you, especially if you have a flamer or a psyker with a flame staff, you really shouldn't be charging into hordes as an Ogryn. It's a really bad play. So this encourages people to do something that's wrong, in my opinion, when you play as an Ogryn. So I don't like that penance at all. And then, yeah, I would just change this to something that's actually useful with killing a grenade box with. Maybe a crusher or something. And then this one's probably the best one. So, yeah, not as bad as Veteran, for sure. I mean, you guys already know my feelings on Make Every Shot Count on Overwatch. I don't think I'm gonna do the Preacher or this Psychic. The Psychic's the only one I haven't played yet at all. Like, I played 2 missions total. I have played a lot of Preacher. I played 40 missions. I think she's a level 28. But I don't like the set. So if I don't like the set, what am I doing? I don't even like this Ogryn set very much, but I like playing Ogryn, so it was something to do while I was doing it. And honestly, besides heavyweight champion, I knew I'd be able to do the rest of them fairly easily. I was wrong about this one, but I was right about the rest of them. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.